right, guys, so today let's talk a little bit about confidence and really how to build that. If you're not the most confident person, if there are also things that you can see in yourself, you see you got potential. We've all got potential. So I'm gonna help you get there in about 3 months. I think if you do this every day, it could be less than 3 months. So yeah, if you're consistent, definitely. This also, you got to put the work in. This isn't just gonna go from 0 to 100 with your confidence without you putting in the work. So you really got to do that part. I'm just gonna sort of walk you through it. I feel like, this might be a little bit basic, and some things that have helped me, but yeah, there's definitely more that I could add. I think this is just like probably a jumping off point, to like sort of dip your toes in a bit. If you've been struggling, you don't really know what to start, I feel like this could be the foundation for that. So yeah, just from personal experience, I feel like this is the foundation of that. This is what helped me, from like a basic level, from really, doing the deep internal work. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to make it easy for you guys. So let's start with the first thing I think is super important to building your confidence is to really get to know yourself. And this includes your hobbies, the things you like to do with your time, your interests, like movies, singers, artists, if you like painting, stuff like that, those kinds of things, to get to know yourself. And people you're inspired by, like influencers you may like, actors, philosophers, anything like that. People you're inspired by, your favorite era of fashion. I feel like that one is pretty important if you're a fashionable person. And I'll go into it a little bit deeper, but I think that can relate to your own personal style and where you get your inspiration pieces from. And even the colors you wear. Like, I am super into the 70s and I love deeper, like richer tones, like greens, rust, red, browns, blacks and blues. So those are the pieces and the colors I gravitate more towards, but again, I'll talk about that more into this. What can also be important to know is the scents that you like, as that relates to like a perfume, a cologne, a body spray, your lotion, because I feel like the smell that we have can really let people associate that smell with us. And I also feel like not every smell matches everybody's body chemistry the same way. Like, for instance, I don't really like the smell of vanilla. I'm really more into like the sandalwood, like the more of like the muskier tones, because I feel like that's like kind of more of the energy I give off, which is, it's more of an intense, but then there's also like a sweet, like floral scent to it, because that's more so me. So I wouldn't really wear vanilla. I don't really wear warm tones. Like I said, more muskier floral scents and perfumes and stuff like that. So I think that is super important to know too. And that can also help boost your confidence. People will associate that smell with you. They'll know you a little bit better. And I'll talk about it more, but it is also part of your confidence is, knowing what you give to other people, how you are perceived by other people, even though it's not like super important, what people think of you. And as long as you feel comfortable internally with yourself, that's all that matters. But yeah, you also, I think people will also sense a confident person, and they will feel your confidence too. And I don't think this part is for everybody, but I think it's also important to know your birth chart, if you're into astrology. So that can also show with like your rising sign, your sun sign, and then like some other placements which are a little bit deeper, but I feel like this is just like the basic foundation. But knowing your sun and your rising sign can, show how you're going to, I think my clip just fell out, can show how you're going to come off to other people and how other people are going to, perceive you. Because I'm a Scorpio rising, I can be a little bit intense and a little bit deeper, and I think that can be a little bit off-putting to people. So, I think that also goes into the scent for like perfume and body spray that you wear too. So there's that part. And going back to really understanding yourself and your hobbies and your interests, I really feel like it's helpful to go back to who you were as a kid. And sometimes that's tough, trauma and everything like that. So yeah, I think it can really help to understand who you were like. And maybe if you have like childhood pictures of yourself, maybe some ways that you used to dress, if there were like certain movies that you liked, like when I was younger, I think like when I was maybe 7 or 8, we always loved horror movies, and I still love horror movies to the point where a lot of them don't really scare me because I'm just so used to it. But I love horror movies. I will like watch them all day long, all night long, and they don't really affect me because I think there's a lot of art that goes back into like horror movies and stuff like that, so I can really appreciate them from that aspect. So I'm super into horror movies. I've always loved tattoos, piercings. I have a lot of ear piercings here and then some on the other side, so those are super big to me. Fashion has always been big to me, and just looking at older pictures of myself when I was little, just how I dressed and the way I used to accessorize, it is really prevalent in who I am as a person. So I think that can be important, thinking back to who you were as a kid, and really, taking the time to even write these down, to write yourself a list, and to literally be like hobbies colon what your hobbies are, interests colon what your interests are, and to go deeper into artists that you listen to. Like if you really like Tyler the Creator, if you like Melanie Martinez, Bruno Mars, like these people that you like and what you like about them. Maybe they could be a little bit alternative. Maybe you like, the tones that they have. Maybe you like someone because they're super poppy and you want to, I don't know. It could be anything, why you like those people. And I think this can be helpful. I think this also might go into your favorite, whatever your favorite era of fashion is. But I would say it's important to know your skin tone and certain colors that work with that, and what colors you prefer, like I said, based on maybe what your favorite era of fashion was, what your favorite pieces are, who your favorite designer is, and why you like some of those pieces. Because, like I said, I like richer, darker colors. I think I wear like some light gray sometimes, or like a medium gray, but I don't really wear a lot of lighter colors. And I will wear white, just because I feel like it's easy to pair with stuff, but it's not usually one of my go-tos. I would say black or navy blue, like this green. I have like 2 or 3 sweaters of like this olivey green, because I really like wearing those colors, and I feel like those suit my style best. Like I said, I geared more towards like a 70s style with like the wider like pants, and just like the shoes I gravitate towards. So I think the colors that you prefer and the colors that can work with you and your skin tone really relates to what fashion era, or just the style that you prefer best. Once you have all of those things, you can write them down just so it's easy to digest and easy to see. I would say to create a vision board of those things, and it could be, I think Pinterest is a great place for that. Even Canva, you can make mood boards on Canva, and plop in some pictures. If you're making like a mood board of just images, you can do that. Also, like I said, Pinterest is great for just pinning things to a certain board, so you can scroll through them, you can look through them whenever you want. I would say it's also helpful to make that your background on like your desktop, your laptop, could be your phone too, just so it's something that you see consistently, and to maybe think back to those things every once in a while. I actually have on my phone, I have the Pinterest app pinned on like my homepage, and it rotates hourly on like my visualization board, which I'll probably like post over here if you haven't seen it. I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be over here. Yeah, so it rotates through that board. So when I'm looking at my home screen, I will be reminded of that. And it's sort of like a confidence boost, a nice reminder of like what my goals are. And it's just a nice reminder. It's nice to get into that habit of seeing that consistently. This is probably the last part. I think I forgot to say this earlier, but I think this one is super important, and it relates to getting to know yourself. But who you are personally, what you offer, what your personality traits are, and this can also relate back to your interests. But I think understanding who you are at a deeper level is super important, because it will sort of, it goes hand in hand with your confidence, because once you are comfortable with who you are, your quirks, your whatever they are, then I feel like there's nothing that can get in your way. There's nobody who can, you know, take you down. So confidence wise. So, yeah. So for myself, I would say I'm really relaxed. I'm really chill, flexible with plans. You know, when things change, I'm really understanding. I don't really fight, you know, how things are changing. And I'm also, like I said, this can go back if you know your birth chart. I'm a water sign. I'm also like a prominent mutable water sign. That is me basically. So when things change, I'm very understanding about it. I don't really fight the flow of how things are going, and I know everything has a reason for it happening. So I'm very understanding in that aspect, and that is me. I'm not really all over the place. I don't really talk very loud too. That is just me. So I think understanding those things about yourself, what your tone is, how you sort of approach situations, how you approach people, how you have conversations with people, I think those are all super important to know. And I think the more you understand yourself, the more comfortable you are with yourself, and the deeper you can go into these little prompts, in these little areas that I chose to focus on. I think the more you do that, the more confidence you're going to have. So if you really do the deeper work, this could take you 3 months. It could take you less, maybe like a few weeks, a month or two. It's totally up to you and how much work you want to put in. But I think as soon as you get to know yourself, like I've noticed this with myself, as soon as I realized who I am, what I offer, what my skills are, even like writing them down, like I said, is super helpful, just to remind yourself of them every so often, so you don't forget. Because I feel like sometimes we get so into the groove of life that, you know, you forget kind of vital things about yourself. And sometimes there are situations where we lose a little bit of our confidence, but it is very important to go back to those things, to rethink, and to, you know, just remind ourselves about who we are. So I hope this was helpful. I would also recommend affirmations. I didn't mention that, but that has really helped me. I use the app I Am. I think that's what it's called. They also have different ones for like vocabulary if you want to, like separately, if you want to get better at your vocabulary and know more expansive words. So they do have that for that. But for affirmations, the app I Am is really, really great. And you can choose whether you want to focus on self-confidence, you want to focus on wealth affirmations, anything like that. You can really choose. So yeah, I go through them each day. I will probably go through 20 because it's like, I think that's what I set to do, 20 of them each day. So I will go through and I will read them each day and I'll really think about them. So, and I also get reminders throughout the day. So they're pretty awesome with that. But I definitely recommend affirmations. I didn't say this earlier, but I think that is great to, I think that goes hand in hand with the vision board. But if you have, maybe if you're more of a scripting person, if you have those written words and affirmations, you can probably even add some affirmations to your Pinterest board if you make a board, or your mood board. That would be super helpful too. Again, if you're more of a scripting, you know, word reader, word learner. Yeah. So I really hope that was helpful. That is about all I have for now. I may make another video if there's anything I missed, and let me know if there's anything I missed. If there are certain things that helped you, definitely let me know. My neck is super itchy. I think it's, I don't know, and I'm making it worse. So yeah, if there's anything that helped you, please, please, please leave a comment. I would love to know. I feel like that is a process, building our confidence. You know, we can get it to, you know, we can get it pretty great, but I think to keep consistent with that, it takes some work. So I'm always open to learning new things. But yeah, I think that's it. Bye for now, guys.